Hello and welcome to another edition of HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. We've got a potpourri playoff roundup here for you, all the divisions except for the Pac-5 West Valley and Inland involving local playoff teams. Eric, I want to start with the Eastern. La Quinta, Serrano, Oak Hills, those are kind of the top three teams in the Eastern Division. Do any of the local teams, the Las Sierras, the Norte Vistas, have a chance to pull an upset?
Yeah, I mean, for me right now, I would say Norte Vista might have the best chance given how they can match up with certain teams. I think their running game could give problems to even the best of defensive teams because they can control the clock. Obviously, they had the hiccup against La Sierra, and that's something they will have to bounce back from. But if Andrew Martinez can get back close to 100% in health, and you have that combination of him and Freddie Holly running, that could give some, fits to roll teams. Now they will get a tough test right in the second round if they win their first game, which they should against Barstow. They got to go to Serrano, which has the great playoff history, and that would be just a great matchup between a team that plays great physical defense versus a team that just runs the ball like crazy.
I think back to that, and I think about the Serrano-Elsinore matchups back when Elsinore was in the Sun Belt League. Serrano does very, very well against those type of teams that are so run-heavy, so it's really tough to out-physical them to make up a term.
Yeah, I believe they did, and they did play, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago in the semifinals. It was a high-scoring game. Serrano eventually pulled it out in the fourth quarter, so there's a game of history there where Norte Vista was running the same offense, Serrano doing what they do. So that's the matchup I'm looking most forward to in the second round right now.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see. I think that those are probably our two best schools. Any possible surprises, maybe a team we're not talking about from our area that can emerge and make a run?
We'll see what La Sierra can do right now. I think, obviously they're coming off a couple weeks ago, the big high of beating Norte Vista. It ended up earning them the number 3 seed. They really are the 4. Serrano had to be moved to the opposite half of the bracket to be opposite Oak Hills. But right now, I think Oak Hills right now is the favorite in the division. But La Quinta is playing extremely strong right now. They're very battle tested. I believe their only loss of the season is to Heritage, and it was a 1-point game. So I think that's the matchup. I think right now, La Quinta and Oak Hills with Serrano, the outside chance. That those desert schools, high and low, are definitely the teams to beat.
Over in the Central Division, that's where the Sunkist League is now. Any of those teams have a shot?
I do like Kaiser's chance just given their championship history. This is a team that knows how to win playoff games, knows how to win some close games. Again, another team that, if they can keep the score low, play good defense, run the ball, they have a chance at the number 3 seed right now, so I wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of an open division right now. I think Colony is the clear favorite, but I think right now Kaiser would be the best chance in our area.
One thing to keep in mind, Kaiser always seems to peak in the postseason. You see them early in the year, and they might not impress you, but they always seem to click in the playoffs. We'll see if they can keep it up. East Valley Division, anyone there you like?
I think you're looking at a few teams that could do something there. Linfield Christian right now would be the one that pops out. They got hot at the end of the season. Big wins over Arrowhead Christian and over Ontario Christian to end up co-champs of the league and the number 1 seed. They should win their first round game, and then they get matched up against second seeded Templeton. That could be a tough matchup there. So the one thing we see in the East Valley Division and the Northwest Division, our local teams are either facing a seed in the first round or will have to face a seed in the second round.
I think Arrowhead Christian still has a chance to do some damage. They obviously slipped up against Linfield, but the Mowbray brothers, those are 3 great athletes. I think Arrowhead Christian might have a chance to maybe make a sort of Cinderella run to the semifinals. I also look over at Big Bear over in the out of the Deanza League in the Northwest Division. I think that's a team that can really, really do well.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing with that game, I like how they play. You got Logan Wolf, a quarterback. They can do a lot of things. They got a tough first-round draw. They faced Rio Hondo Prep, another team with great championship history. They've played twice before. A couple years ago, Rio Hondo Prep won both games. So they're going to have to get over that hump first. The big thing for them, Big Bear will have the advantage at altitude playing Saturday on their home field. But I think, it's going to be a tough one for them given that tough first-round matchup.
It's possible that we won't have a finalist in any of these divisions.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's within the realm of possibilities. Kaiser is the only seeded team out of our local teams. If you look in the desert, you got Shadow Hills is the number 3 seed. They're playing really good football. they could possibly do it. But yeah, it could be a real tough time for some of our smaller schools.
Absolutely. All right, well, that'll do it for our playoff wrap-ups. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. Thanks for tuning in, folks.